33 questions, 3 levels of difficulty. Only 1% can get a perfect score. Are you part of the elite? Prove it. What is the smallest unit of information in a computer? A bit is the most basic unit, representing either a 0 or a 1. How many bits are in exactly 1 byte? One byte consists of 8 bits. It's the standard unit for character encoding. What does CPU stand for? The CPU is the brain of the computer that executes instructions. Which of these is not a programming language? HTML is a markup language used to structure web content. Unlike programming languages, it cannot perform logic operations like loops or conditional statements. In Boolean algebra, what is true and false? For an AND operation to be true, both sides must be true. Otherwise, it's false. What is the result of 10% 3 in most languages? The modulo operator returns the remainder. 10 divided by 3 is 3 with a remainder of 1. Which is the primary volatile memory component? RAM is the main volatile memory, meaning it loses all data when the power is turned off. It's used for active program execution. What is the standard port for HTTP traffic? Port 80 is for unencrypted HTTP. Port 443 is for secure HTTPS. What index does a standard array start with? Most modern programming languages use zero-based indexing for arrays. What does GUI stand for? GUI allows users to interact with devices through visual icons instead of text commands. Which file extension is commonly used for Python scripts? Python files use the .py extension. Who is considered the first computer programmer? Ada Lovelace wrote the first algorithm intended for a machine in the mid-1800s. What is the binary representation of the decimal number 2? In binary, 0 is 0, 1 is 1, and 2 is written as 1, 0. What does www stand for? It stands for World Wide Web, created by Tim Berners-Lee. Which of these is an example of an operating system? Linux is an OS kernel, Chrome is a browser, and Intel makes hardware. In CSS, what property changes text color? The property is simply color. Background color is for the area behind the text. What is the main purpose of a for loop? A for loop repeats a block of code a specific number of times. What does IP stand for in IP address? Internet Protocol is the set of rules for routing data across the web. What is the time complexity of searching in a balanced binary search tree? A balanced BST allows you to discard half the nodes at each step, making it logarithmic. Which HTTP status code means internal server error? "500" is a generic error message when the server encounters an unexpected condition. What is DRY in programming philosophy? DRY stands for Don't Repeat Yourself, aiming to reduce repetition. In Git, which command saves your changes to the local repository? Commit records changes to the local repository. Push sends them to a remote server. What is the primary difference between a compiler and an interpreter? Compilers translate everything at once. Interpreters translate line by line during execution. What does SQL stand for? Structured query language is the standard for managing relational databases. Which data structure follows the first in, first out principle? A queue works like a real-life line. The first person in is the first one served. What is a primary key in a database? A primary key uniquely identifies each row in a table. In Boolean logic, what is not of true or false? True or false is true. The not operator flips it to false. What does API stand for? An API allows two different applications to talk to each other. What does the A in ACID database properties stand for? Atomicity ensures that a transaction is treated as a single, all-or-nothing unit. In Big O notation, what is the worst-case complexity of quicksort? While usually O n log n, quicksort hits O n squared if the pivot selection is poor. What is a deadlock in operating systems? Deadlock happens when two or more tasks are waiting for each other to release resources. Which of these is not part of the CAP theorem? CAP theorem states a distributed system can only provide two of the three: consistency, availability, or partition tolerance. What is the P versus NP problem primarily about? It asks whether every problem whose solution can be quickly verified can also be quickly solved.